What's up, everyone? It's Anna, also known as that Star Wars girl, and yes, I am still sick, but good news has arrived. Now, from what I have gathered, Mr. John Campea said something about how this new trilogy is going to, that they announced. So Disney announced a few days ago that they were going to be releasing Star Wars movies in these increments of years, and nobody cared. I remember all the screenshots going around of, oh look, they posted it this many hours ago. Nobody cares, because nobody cares about Star Wars anymore, because Disney butchered it, and Rian Johnson helped. But apparently these new movies, these 3 new movies that they announced, the years that these new movies are going to be released, apparently people were debating if it was going to be the Game of Thrones guys or Rian Johnson. And then Mr. John Campea himself, the biggest Disney shill of them all, he decided to say, oh, well, no, this isn't Rian Johnson, it's the other guys. Basically confirming it, but there's an article, so I am going to go check out this article and read it, and we will see what the details are. Alright, so I have this article pulled up. This is Comics Book News. They seem to be a reliable source. So Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy rumored to be dead. Thank freaking the Force. Oh my goodness, that is some of the best news I have heard in a very, very long time. So let's read this article. Last August, I was the first to offer that Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy had been canceled. And now 9 months later, a new rumor offers the same. Freaking thank goodness. The rumor doesn't come from the best source, but at least it backs up my claims that Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy is dead and done for. A good thing. Yes, very good. John Campea. Okay, see, so I heard the same thing I think this person's talking about. John Campea, who actually says my report was inaugurous, but then confirms it. LOL offers that recently announced release dates. The new Star Wars Untitled movie are the Game of Thrones showrunners David Benioff and D.B. Weiss. What does D.B. stand for? Own Star Wars trilogy, meaning not Rian Johnson's films. Campea also says, according to his sources, that Disney doesn't have anything on schedule for Rian Johnson Star Wars trilogy, that it is basically done. And get this, Campea goes as far as to claim Johnson could consult with David Benioff and D.B. Weiss on their trilogy. LOL, not happening. Yeah, it's not happening. Oh, Luke, it's Luke Skywalker. Get away from Luke Skywalker, you evil man. Stay away from Luke. Luke is precious. Luke is amazing. Luke is the savior of the freaking galaxy. He brought Darth Vader, his father, back from the dark side. You leave him alone, you evil, evil man. You already butchered him once. You leave him alone. Poor Luke Skywalker, poor Mark Hamill. Don't touch this, because you are a horrible, horrible, round-headed person, and you fucked up Star Wars. Yeah, I said it. Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy canceled. Whether or not Campea actually got the info from sources or is simply making an educated guess and claiming it as a scoop is unknown. Disney CEO Bob Iger has been talking up the Benioff and Weiss Star Wars movies with no mention of Rian Johnson. Plus, there is news of 3 untitled Star Wars movies getting release dates, so do the math. I don't like maths, but I did it. But as I first said last August, there is evidence to suggest Disney canned Rian Johnson and axed his Star Wars trilogy. Well, I freaking hope so. After The Last Jedi, are you freaking kidding me? This horrible, horrible human needs to go and, just not exist anymore. He needs to go, live in a desert. He needs to, go into exile. Once Obi-Wan and Yoda were like, oh, well, shoot, the Emperor won. Anakin turned to the dark side. He's now Darth Vader. We have to go and, they tried. They were actually good people. But he needs to go into exile. He needs to go live in the freaking desert and just not ever come back. That is what I think Rian Johnson needs to do. He needs to go be with nature, and he needs to go pay for, the horrible thing that he did to the world and to Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill, and everyone that loves Star Wars. He needs to go and pay for that. So go live in the desert, Rian Johnson, and please stay away from any type of civilization, any people. You just need to go live in your little desert. You can have a little lake, so that way you don't die. Like, obviously you can have food. Like, you don't deserve to die. Maybe in some universe you do, but I don't wish death upon any people, even if they ruin Star Wars. But I hope you suffer, because death would be too easy of a thing. I hope that you suffer the rest of your life knowing, and you have to understand, the errors of your ways. So, kind of need to pull, what Aragon did to Galbatorix. So, spoiler alert, if you haven't read the Aragon books, I'm kind of spoiling that for you. But basically, you just have to feel all the pain that you caused everyone in the world, and you need to just be overcome by all of this, and, kind of just leave everyone alone and go live on your own in the desert, so you can't bother anyone. You can't fuck up any more movies or any franchises or characters. So go away, Rian Johnson. Nobody wants you. Where was I at? But as I first said last August, there is evidence to suggest Disney scanned Rian Johnson and acted Star Wars Trilogy. Good. Before we dive into it, I'll say Campea can very well be wrong, as his sources didn't get anything right about Star Wars Episode 9 title, and my own thoughts on why Rian Johnson's Star Wars movies have been canceled are based on speculation with no insider knowledge. Well, I think we all know that they want to make money, not lose it, and Rian Johnson has proven he's very good at losing money. That said, let's take a look at the potential evidence. Dun, 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 dun. God damn, whoever decided to do this hairdo to this beautiful woman, they need to be fired. Whose idea was? No woman goes out and wants their little hair flippies out like this. Who cut her bangs? That is awful. If you're going to put your hair up in a ponytail, the point of putting your hair up in a ponytail is to get it out of your way. This would get in your way. This is stupid. When I go to put my hair up in a dang ponytail, you got your little baby hairs. We suffer for that's why headbands were invented. That's why bobby pins were invented. You can ask any girl. We do not like these little baby hairs. Sometimes they can look good. Like when you curl your hair, you put it up in a nice updo. But this looks like shit. Poor girl. They dressed you in a potato sack. Come on. Fans hate Star Wars The Last Jedi. Very, very true. True Star Wars fans hate The Last Jedi. First, there is the fact that a lot of people simply hate Star Wars The Last Jedi and Rian Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy's approach to the franchise. Sure, while The Last Jedi made over $1 billion, it made exceptionally less than The Force Awakens, which was another so-so movie under Kennedy. It's also the main reason why Solo failed, which had nothing to do with Solo being released so close to The Last Jedi. The same argument doesn't hold true for Marvel, but everything to do with people being extremely disappointed with The Last Jedi, and also the fact that Solo wasn't very good. It's never a good thing when the audience is split. Ahem. Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman. Oh my god. Don't even get me started. People freak out, I guess. Apparently, I didn't know about all the Snyder fanboys. So when I made my video, they all went crazy. These movies weren't good. I don't care if you like Zack Snyder. I don't care if he's your freaking god. These movies were shit. They were not good. And I have no problem calling them out for how bad they were. You let Superman, really? You butcher Superman? You butcher Batman? Come on! That's a whole nother topic. I'm not going to get into that right now. It's pretty simple. Put out good movies and people will see them. True. Put out bad movies and people won't see them. This person, yes, it's very true. This is both The Last Jedi and Solo are bad Star Wars movies. So getting back to Rian Johnson, you think Disney and its investors aren't aware of the situation and fan reception regarding The Last Jedi? If so, I have a bridge to sell you. Speaking of Disney investors, Star Wars toy and merchandise sales have plummeted. Why? Because of Star Wars The Last Jedi. What is rather funny is that drop in sales has also caused Disney to report their earnings differently, as now they reported in their licensing and merchandising sales along with park sales, which makes it look as if their consumer products line isn't losing money. It is. Oh, 100% it is. So, when I was living in San Francisco, I was in college. And when I'm in college, you're in college, you get a part-time job, so that way you can feed yourself. So I actually got hired at a Disney store in San Francisco, one of their main flagships. And because of my Star Wars knowledge, I had my interview because they're like, oh, we need people that know about Star Wars. And my friend was like, Anna, you know about Star Wars. So I went in, got hired because of my knowledge of Star Wars. And when they had their first Friday, it was crazy. You couldn't even move. And second one, nobody came. Like, nobody came to after the Last Jedi one. Like, it was kind of dead. Then the Rogue One, nobody showed up. All the toys went on to super clearance. You could not get rid of them. All of the die-cast toys that they made for, collectors, $30 for a freaking action figure that falls apart when you open it, that's made of metal, that the chip, the paint is bad and it chips instantly. Nobody wanted them. They all went on sale. The only ones that sold well were the Boba Fett limited edition, when he's in the white one, Darth Maul, Darth Vader, General Grievous. Those are the only ones that sold well, and that's because they were a limited edition run and they sold out like instantly. So all the other action figures, all the other die-casts, all the action figures, everything, nobody wanted them. Solo, literally, we got it in, and they were just like, nope, this isn't going to do good. It's not going to sell well. Guess what? It all went on clearance. Nobody wanted it. Nobody wants their toys. I can go to the Target right down the street from my house. It still has the merchandising, or the marketing from The Last Jedi. Everything in the Star Wars section is freaking Transformer toys. They have a few action figures, but I remember when I was a kid, it was like an entire aisle of all the different Star Wars toys. Now it's like underneath the Star Wars banner, it's Transformers. It's a few action figures, and guess what? They're all the same character that nobody wants. They are losing a lot of money because of The Last Jedi, and because their toys aren't good anymore. Look at them. They're great. Mark Hamill questions Star Wars The Last Jedi. Second, Mark Hamill has publicly stated he doesn't agree with how Luke Skywalker, sorry, I can't speak very well. I've, fighting this cold. Luke Skywalker has been handled. He said it many times, and most recently said it this past March. They had me walking by 3PO, not even acknowledging him. I said, I can't do that. The Last Jedi director, Rian Johnson, said, okay, go over and do whatever. So I went over and I did whatever. They say it in the script. Forget the past, kill it if you have to, and they're doing a pretty good job. Yep. I don't understand. Why would you destroy something that you know people love? Why would you take something that you know everyone loves and destroy it? I don't understand the logic behind that. Oh, you want to make way for something new? Okay, why don't you take the things that we love and be like, oh, like Luke Skywalker, oh, this is why I love this character so much. Like, oh, Kylo Ren, you want us to make, that's the worst freaking character, but you want to make us like this guy? You want to make us actually relate to him? Show us how much Luke cares about him. Luke, you make every one of these new characters so unlikable and so unrelatable, and with the original cast, it's just like, it's so awkward when they have to interact with them. And yeah, the original cast are phenomenal actors, and they, it's so awkward, and we don't care. We don't care about these new people. I didn't go to the theater to go see Rey. I went because I wanted to see Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, and Han Solo. I could care less about these new people. The only reason I thought that, maybe I should start caring about them is maybe they're somebody's kid. Like Rey, maybe she's Han Solo and Princess Leia's daughter. Maybe she's Luke's daughter. No, they're no one. Nobody cares. Kylo Ren, Ben Solo, worst freaking character ever. Crybaby, I don't care about him. You killed your dad. F you. That makes me care about you even less. But logic out the window, around the corner, down the street to infinity and beyond. That's exactly what this is. This would be like Robert Downey Jr. coming out and stating he doesn't like how Tony Stark and Iron Man were handled in Infinity War and Endgame. Get it? You have the biggest Star Wars actor basically saying he didn't like The Last Jedi, and you expect the director to return for a new trilogy? Nope. Well, they're super hating on Mark Hamill, and even when Mark Hamill gets into arguments, I had an interaction with Mark Hamill on Twitter, and I was mentally amazed. I took screenshots. I was so happy. I texted my parents. I was like, Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker just responded to me on Twitter. He wasn't nice to me, but it's okay. But I basically told him, I'm sorry that the way that they treated you in the movie, and it was stupid that they killed you. And then, like, you know, you didn't even know you can go find the freaking interviews of him where he's like he didn't know that they killed him until he watched the movie, and he disappears, and he's like, what? And then Mark Hamill responded to me like, no, wrong. It was in the script from day one. And I'm like, no, it wasn't. Everyone is on record saying that, like, Rian Johnson, they didn't have to do it, but whatever. So, yeah, having people debate. Even Mark Hamill posting pictures like, oh, like, I wish that this would have happened, where it was a picture that was photoshopped, him, Han Solo, Princess Leia, and Lando all in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. Yeah, missed opportunities. Freaking big time. You go onto this island. You can go stay there with the porgs. Nobody wants you. Just stay there and never come back. Oh my gosh, my nose is clearing up. Oh my gosh, I can breathe through my nose right now. Ah, yes. Maybe good news is what makes it. It's healing me. Star Wars New Galaxies movie gets the axe. Third, a big chunk of evidence, at least for me, that Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy has been canceled came from what Lucasfilm production designer Neil Lamont had to say about Star Wars movie getting the axe. His words match up with the official Disney description of Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy with mention of New Galaxies. Lamont said, we were just starting our work on another Star Wars spin-off, and yeah, we were actually just making our mark on Tatooine, which would have been interesting, and some other New Galaxies. So hopefully, if that comes back, we'll get a chance to be able to do that further. Huh, interesting. While some people have stated that Lamont is talking about the Obi-Wan spin-off, which could very well be the case, I questioned, why would an Obi-Wan prequel introduce new galaxies? Well, I mean, Tatooine would have, I mean, that's not really a prequel. That's kind of like just an Obi-Wan, what the heck, go away. Obi-Wan story. But yeah, maybe the New Galaxies is his experiences, so it's like him, like, and then he's like having flashbacks to times past. That could be it. The official description for Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy actually sounds more like what Lamont had to say. New characters from a corner of the galaxy that Star Wars lore has never before explored. Yeah. Oh gosh, just don't touch Star Wars. Just keep him away from Star Wars. Regardless which movie Lamont is talking about, the reason additional Star Wars spin-offs are not happening is because of the reception to The Last Jedi and Solo. Very true. J.J. Abrams fixing Star Wars. No, this man does not know how to do anything except for make things look pretty on screen. He then put music. This guy, I mean, he freaking ruined Star Trek. How do you ruin The Wrath of Khan? Just how? Well, JJ's like, hold my beer, because I'm about to do it, and that's exactly what he did, and it just, he redoes stuff, and he doesn't do it better. Like, come on, you already have the blueprint. Just take that and make it more awesome. Like, come on, dude. Come on. I know it's not the easiest thing in the world, but for the big amount of budget that you have, for all the people you have working, you could do it, but you just don't. It blows my mind. Really blows my mind. This man cannot fix anything. Additional evidence, again, in my opinion, that Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy is done for also comes from the fact that J.J. Abrams returns for Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker and appears to be fixing the franchise. I've reported how Abrams is fixing Rey and Finn as well as not using the Porgs, and that the franchise is on a course correction. Do you realize legendary composer John Williams also had to come out against Johnson's The Last Jedi? I don't remember that. The Hollywood... Do I? I remember him getting sick, but I don't remember him saying anything about The Last Jedi. Maybe, I don't know. The only thing that's popping in my mind is when he got sick and was, like, in the hospital. The Hollywood trade sites are also now reporting that Johnson's trilogy has the potential to happen, while Benioff and Wise movies are happening. basically what is going on is a PR thing, and Disney doesn't want to announce Johnson is done with Star Wars prior to episode 9 coming out this December, as it will simply look bad. I'm guessing sometime after the release of The Rise of Skywalker is probably when the announcement will come, or a later date, as Disney doesn't need to really announce anything. Oh my god, get these people off. Go away. Go away, go away, go away. We don't like you. You don't know Star Wars. You're ruining everything. And she's got the curved thumb. I don't have the curved thumb, but she's got that. A lot of people have that. I don't have that, but now we know she's got the hitchhiker thumb. Go hitchhike somewhere else, Kathleen Kennedy. Nobody wants you here. Disney moving away from PC SJW BS. Oh my goodness. Thank freaking goodness. Even more evidence, in my opinion, that Disney is moving away from Kennedy and Johnson's approach is that Disney Plus Star Wars TV shows have male stars. Jon Favreau's The Mandalorian follows Pedro Pascal, who's a really cool dude. He was really awesome in Game of Thrones. With Rogue One spinoff starring follows David Pascal with the Rogue One spinoff starring Diego Luna. Well, of course, there is nothing wrong with female leads. The characters that Kennedy and Johnson have introduced and used have been written so poorly and shoehorned into the franchise, not for the sake of the story, but only for the political correctness, similar to what Marvel Studios is doing now with Brie Larson and Captain Marvel, as evidenced by the Captain Marvel movie and the Avengers Endgame. So true. Doubt me, back in 2016, Kathleen Kennedy stated she wasn't catering to the male fans, the fans responsible for the franchise being as successful as it is. Question: why not organically introduce female characters? Very true. Why piss off your existing fan base? It's laughable. Sounds similar to Brie Larson's White Dudes comments. The voice actor of Admiral Akbar recently slammed The Last Jedi as well at the recent Star Wars Celebration. Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. I remember that. Related to the PC of The Last Jedi. Star Wars Celebration also saw Daisy Ridley come out against the SJW toxic fandom known as Reylo. Yep. Poor girl, that interview was so painful for her. I felt so bad for her. Ugh. New Star Wars release dates. I've also reported that Disney didn't announce any new Star Wars movies since the release of The Last Jedi, so let's take a look at the recent release dates they did announce. We see a new Star Wars movie isn't happening for 3 years following the release of The Rise of Skywalker. The release dates also coincide with Kathleen Kennedy's Lucasfilm contract expiring, which is rather interesting. That is interesting. Untitled Star Wars movie, December 16, 2022. Oh my god. I feel so old that these are numbers. These are the... Oh my god. Untitled Star Wars movie, December 20th, 2024. Oh my god. We're already getting to that point where we're in the 20s now. Untitled Star Wars movie, December 18th, 2026. Oh my gosh, I feel so old. If Rian Johnson, by the way, I know people get on my case. I know I am young, but I mean, I remember writing 1996 on my paper at school, so this is painful to even think about. If Rian Johnson does still happen to be developing a new Star Wars trilogy, it is going to get released in 2027 or 2028. Oh my god, I feel so old. Why are these even numbers we're even talking about? Like, that's the near future. Oh my gosh. Now I'm just, oh my god. Alright. That's 10 to 11 years after The Last Jedi. Yeah, get him out of here. Very good point. Very good point. We can also assume Disney will not announce release dates for Johnson's trilogy that will come out in 2023, 2025, and 2027, simply by the fact that Disney gave those December release dates as dates to James Cameron's Avatar. So it does indeed seem as if Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy has been canceled. Damn. That's like a mic drop right there. Good points, dude. Good points. Oh my goodness. Well, that was a really interesting article to read, and I agree with almost, I think, every single point that was made on there. Like I've been saying, Kathleen Kennedy isn't exactly the youngest person on the face of the world. She's been working for a really long time. So it wouldn't be out of the blue for this woman to retire. She's already past retirement age. I don't know why she would continue to do this, especially with, I'm sure she is very stressed out with the fact that people don't like the movies that she's putting out. So I feel like when she retires, things are going to significantly change. Same with Bob Iger. I don't know how long he's gonna plan on continuing doing this. Again, he's not the youngest person in the world either. So it would make a lot of sense if, with the way that they're planning things out, that out with the old, intentional with that one. And I'm not hating on old people. I'm hating on that particular old lady. Out with the old and in with somebody that cares about Star Wars. And I don't care how old that person is, as long as they are a huge Star Wars fan, as long as they care about Star Wars. And I'm not talking about this Raylo people. I am talking about someone that actually understands the meaning of Star Wars, that understands the message that George Lucas wanted to put across, and loves it and wants to create something that's going to change the world in a good way. Not in this toxic relationship, let's get the Twilight fans on board stuff. Somebody that actually cares about Star Wars, somebody that loves Star Wars, somebody that will respect Star Wars and respect the people in Star Wars like Mark Hamill. So, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you are seeing what is going on as well. And, go check out this article. It was actually a very well-written article, so props to you, dude. And, everyone, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, that's okay, too. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Make sure you click that little bell. That way you get notifications when I do other videos and live streams, because I do action figure unboxing, and sometimes my dog is in them. She's going crazy right now on the floor next to me. But until next time, everyone, have a great rest of your day, and may the Force be with you, because we are really, really, really going to need it. Bye, everyone.
Hey, you want to own some prints of my artwork? Cool, go check out my Etsy store, The Art of Anna That Star Wars Girl. Or you can go over to Mindless Entertainment's Threadless account and purchase the design I did for Jessi Milestone of the Jessi Shop First t-shirt. If you'd like to send me some mail and see me open it up in a live stream, send it to Anna That Star Wars Girl, or TSWG for short, at P.O. Box number 28171, Santa Ana, California 927998171. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.